it's so cool to watch the kids genuinely love each other along with the moms loving each other. And it's not the kids are friends from school or something like that. And then the moms kind of have to hang out. Moms want to be together, and that's why the kids are spending time together. We're definitely raising the next generation together. And that's the tagline of the collective. And I think it's definitely happening.
I'm Danielle, your host of the Abridged to Motherhood podcast, the place where moms like you learn to thrive, not just survive through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. I'm a birth and postpartum doula and a mom of two who's been where you are. My first pregnancy was filled with so much excitement, but it was also marked by stress, anxiety, and fear of the unknown. I thought I had everything mapped out, but when postpartum hit, I realized how unprepared I was for the physical, emotional, and mental toll of motherhood. It was overwhelming, lonely, and nothing like I imagined. When I found out I was pregnant again, I knew I needed to approach things differently. I made it my mission to not only prepare for postpartum, but to prioritize myself in the process. That shift changed everything. Now I'm here to help you do the same. Whether you're navigating your first pregnancy, feeling buried under endless advice, or struggling to figure out what you actually need for postpartum, this podcast is your safe space. You'll find practical tips, honest conversations, and expert insights to help you feel informed, supported, and empowered through every stage of motherhood. If you're ready to feel confident, prepared, and truly supported in your motherhood journey, stick around. This is for you. Hey friends, welcome back to the Abridged to Motherhood podcast. Today's episode is all about something so many of us need, but don't always know how to find: real mom friendships. I'm sitting down with Macie Miller, who started a chapter of the Mom Walk Co. in Amherst, Ohio, and has such a heart for helping moms connect in real life. We're talking about why it's hard to put yourself out there, how to find a mom walk near you, and simple ways to build real, life-giving friendships without all the pressure or awkwardness. If you've been feeling lonely or nervous about finding your mom tribe, this episode is going to give you so much encouragement and a clear next step. Let's dive in. Hey, Macie, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is so fun.
It is so fun. So Macie and I have known each other, what, for like probably almost 2 years now, at least. Maybe
Yeah,
3.
probably. Yeah, you came around pretty early on when we started the third summer. So yeah, that makes sense.
That's so exciting. Let's just start with what is the Mom Walk Co. and how you got started with your own chapter here.
Yeah, the Mom Walk Collective um is a worldwide organization at this point. It all started in Huntington Beach, California, about 3 years ago. It's coming up on its third anniversary in June. So yeah, the founder, Jamie, she was in the deep depths of postpartum and was going to therapy, and her therapist was like, "Hey, you should get out of the house and go for a walk." And she's like, "You could even like go with somebody else. That would be really good for you." And that is when she posted, I believe it was on her like TikTok or something, that she was going to meet at this park. And if you wanted to meet for a walk and you had a baby, like come out and meet me here at this time. So she posted that, and like two moms came, and then she posted again the next week, and like 50 moms came. And so she saw it was a need. So that's how the Mom Walk Collective started. But as far as me starting the Amherst chapter of it, I signed up to become an ambassador in November of 2022. And then there's a process where they like check out your videos and just hear your heart for the collective and like why you would want to start one in your city. And then by March of 2023, started our mom walk here. Two local moms jumped on board with me and they helped me get off the ground. They still come around, of course, but right now I am working on my own. It's a lot, but it's good. And I love seeing the friendships come out of it. Like, that's the best part. So that's my prize, I guess, is when I'm seeing people that I know met at our meetups and our walks and our events, hanging out in the real world, and their babies growing up together. And now a lot of the moms are on to their second babies. They found us when they were freshly postpartum with their first, and now everyone's having their little second second babies, and it's so fun to watch us grow like that. There's a lot of pregnant mamas right now, so it's fun to watch us grow in size, but also like watch the families grow. It's a gift for sure. It seems so unnecessary to have mom friends. You're mostly focused on the baby and like socializing them and all of the things that we worry about. But it's so cool to watch the kids genuinely love each other along with the moms loving each other. And it's not like the kids are friends from school or something like that. And then the moms kind of have to hang out. The moms want to be together. And that's why the kids are spending time together. We're definitely raising the next generation together. And I think that's our tagline of the collective. And I think it's definitely happening.
What made you want to start the chapter? You talked about the process a little bit, but why specifically did you decide to become an ambassador?
When I was freshly postpartum with my daughter, Cora, she just turned 5. So if we're backtracking, that takes us right back to COVID. And she was born about 2.5 weeks before everything shut down. So I got maybe a week of normal. Like I remember being out to coffee and the local radio station was playing and it was like an emergency broadcast, whatever. Yeah, we're shutting down all businesses. And that's when I like realized I had my baby with me and it was me and my husband. And I was like, that all normal just went out the door of having anything I ever thought brand new motherhood was going to be like, it was gone. I suffered through that very lonely and alone because we literally couldn't be together. But I think ultimately it taught me that I don't want to do motherhood alone. And then with my son, I had him in May of 2022. So when I signed up to become an ambassador, he was only, I don't know, 4 or 5 months old. And, or at least when I like found out about the collective, and then I thought long and hard about do I have the capacity to take this on? Like
Hmm.
with with the little one. I just didn't want to go through postpartum like I did with my daughter. Like we were finally out of COVID times or whatever, or at least for the most part, and we could gather in groups. And I was like, I'm going to do the complete opposite of what I just went through with Cora. I have nobody. I don't have any friends. There was a couple people from my neighborhood that I knew well just from being on walks and stopping in their front yards while Cora was little and we were out on walks. But other than that, I had no friends that got it, like that were moms as well. I'm so thankful for the friendships that I did have in that time, but they talk about you need a village to raise a child, and that's 100% correct in a ton of ways. But I just knew I didn't want to be alone this time around. So that's when I was like, well, I don't know how to make friends. And so I guess I'm going to do this thing that I found on the internet and we'll give it a try and see if it takes off. And so from the very first walk, I knew that it was definitely a necessity here for the moms of our community because the first walk, it was snowing. It was March 10th and it was snowing. And I don't know, maybe over 20 moms showed up and I was floored. I just could not believe it. But I had to keep going. There's been highs and lows of the whole thing, but I just look at the moms' faces and just know that this is so needed.
I remember that first walk. I couldn't make the very first one. I think I was sick. And so I might have come to April or May, but I remember you posting about that first walk and just seeing that other moms were there made it so much easier for me to show up the next time. My situation was a little bit different. I had a lot of mom friends pretty early on with my daughter because I was pregnant with friends at the same time. And she went to preschool and we made some new friends there. And then I had a son and she was in pre-K full time 3 days a week. And I was home full time with my son. And a lot of my friends, that was their last baby. So
Oh, okay.
now I had no friends with a little baby. And I thought, I'm going to show up because I need to hang out with some other moms that have babies right now and have boys. I had never had a boy before.
Yeah,
I
it's
needed people to
definitely a
talk
learning
to.
curve.
Yes, it is. I know you know too, having a second boy. and I just needed to be around people that got it and were in the thick of postpartum too. Even though my second experience with postpartum was so much better, I was still wanting to have that community that I did that first time around.
Well, you had gotten a taste of it, and then
Mhm.
they moved on. They were moving on to like their kids just growing, not growing a new human. So
Right?
yeah, something that I love about our group is that the age range of mothers, their literal ages. Some of my friends, they're 40 and I'm 29, but we have kids that are the same age. And so it's so fun to like bounce ideas off of them. They have 10, 11 more years wisdom than I do. And they're just grounded a little bit more. And so like it's different. And then the widespread of kids that are at the walks. I mean, there's newborns to 8, 9 year olds. It's a widespread and it's so cool to see when everybody was on spring break last week when we went to the zoo. I mean, everyone was there. It was literally newborns to, I think the oldest was like 10 or 11 now. So it's so fun to see. And there's so much wisdom from the moms who have just been in it a year or two longer than you have. So it's definitely worth coming because people see like the stroller icon and think, oh, it's just for babies, but it's 100% for mothers. It's that's what
Yep.
I tell people that it's a group for moms. It's not a play group for kids. They get that and they get the extra love and the attention, but like it's for the moms.
Yeah, and I love that you can bring your kids of all ages, and if someone homeschools and they have their older kids home with them during the day, they can bring them with them. Or I know in the summer I'll be coming back to walks with my daughter being off school again, and she'll be 7.5, and I know she won't be the only one there that is her age either. So it's so nice that it isn't just something for babies. It's all ages, like you said. I would love to talk a little bit more about, you kind of mentioned this, how it can be really intimidating or fearful to put yourself out there. And why do you think making those mom friends seems intimidating? And what would you say to that mom that feels intimidated about coming to a walk or even just going up to a mom at the library and saying hello?
I am actually currently listening to a book that touches on this subject beautifully, and it's called I Was Told There'd Be a Village. It is excellent, and I was just listening to it earlier, and one of the things that I think is very relevant in the world of motherhood that we're all in right now, and like just like our time, is comparison. I think that could be the number one thing that keeps people away, or like the what will they think of me. Comparison is can start so little, and it can creep up and become this like huge weed that takes over. Like the garden of your mind. I think that's what holds people back. Even mentioning saying, hey, like, I like your shoes at the library, something so small like that trigger a friendship. And it's just wild. Me and my friend, one of my best friends that I've made at the collective, our first conversation, she overheard me talking to somebody else about, and she literally ran up behind me with her stroller so that she could get in on the conversation. And it was so silly, but now we're best friends. So like she wouldn't have overheard that and ran up. Who knows? And now like I can't live a day without talking to her. So, and she's my biggest cheerleader. And so it's just the silliest little things that you could say, like, oh, I like your shoes, or like, oh, cute bag. That can spark something at the library, like you were saying. You got to put yourself out there too. I think that's one of the biggest issues is putting yourself out there. And we live in such a technological age where we can literally have our groceries put in the back of our car for us. So we're not even going to the grocery store to connect with people anymore. And I could go on a whole rant about all of that. But with motherhood, we're not seeing the other mom's kids even have tantrums because, like, they're like, my kid doesn't behave. I can't come to a walk. I've heard that before. Or like, kid doesn't do well in the stroller. He throws a fit. The comparison, you're not seeing all these other kids out and about at walks, at the park, at the grocery to see that we're all in this, man. No kid is an angel and they're learning how to be a human being. and it's not going to be perfect ever. I've had walks where I am leading and I'm literally have to bow out and be like, I'm sorry, this is too much for my kids. I've got to go. There's a place for that. And I just am like, have fun. Bye. So glad you came. Yeah, that's a huge thing is like the comparison. Cause like people think, oh, my kid is the only one who does these things or acts this way. So you're comparing someone's perfect life on Instagram or whatever you're making up in your mind because you're not seeing the real deal out and about. We're just so confined to our own walls that we're not seeing that other people are that way or other kids are that way. No kid is perfect.
I love what you said about how you've pieced out at your own walk and held that boundary for you and your kids because just modeling that shows other moms too that it's okay. Come when you can, come if you're late, leave early. We don't
Mhm.
care. We're here for you. And we are going to support you through that tantrum. In fact, we'll even help you try to distract your kid from
Yeah,
having the
we'll hold the
tantrum.
stroller. We'll all pull out the snacks. We
Exactly.
it's so nice to have just an extra hand. The baby has a blowout and your toddler's running on the park so happy. The moms will be like, "Oh, you go take care of that and come right back and your kid will be fine. Like I've got my eyes on him." And it's that seems so simple, but the weight that's taken off your shoulders, just being able to like run quick and take care of the baby without pulling your toddler around, it's magic. The moms at our walk, they step up and it's so beautiful to see. We even have moms that come without their kids because both of their kids are in school and or just their kid is in school and they will push somebody else's stroller just because their hands are empty. Or if the baby needs taken out and held, but we're walking, there is a mom is always there. There's been moms pushing two strollers up a hill. I don't know. It's so rewarding to see these moms love each other well.
Makes me want to cry a little bit.
Yeah, I
It's
know, same.
so ah, it's so much easier to mom with friends. It really is. And just hearing you talk about all of this, how much it's helped you personally in your motherhood journey, that's what moms need to hear is showing up to go for a walk with your baby in a stroller. It's not just to get some fresh air. There are so many benefits
Actually just on
to
our
it.
Instagram stories earlier talking about it. We're running every May. So this is our third May. We run a campaign called A Mile a Day in May, and it's for maternal mental health. I mean, walking did save my life during COVID. It's the only thing you could go out and do. It saved me. I was so depressed. And I just now looking back, I wish I had friends to walk with, but we couldn't at the time. It's amazing where it's led me. Just choosing that one day to go on a walk and then being like, I could do that again and again. And I was passionate about walking and now here we are and we have so many moms walk with us and it is important. It does so much and it's good for your babies and people they've said they feel lighter when they leave. The burdens are lifted even if it's just for a time because somebody saw you. Another mom looked in your eyes and got it. And that's kind of the phrase I use, like they get it.
And we need that true community. And there are lots of ways to find it. And I just really wanted to highlight the Mom Walk Collective because I know it's all over the US. So wherever you're listening from, most likely there is one near you. And we'll talk about how you can find one in a little bit. But I want to also talk about what has surprised you most about building friendships through motherhood and through the Mom Walk.
The thing that surprised me most about my personal relationships that I've built is that there's moments where you feel like you're a kid again with your little friends, just the way we laugh and joke. And I've done some pretty fun things with the friends I've made. And you get the belly laugh and I call it it gets you in the giggle box. And so it just gets you and you haven't laughed like that in a long time. So it's extra sweet. It's just a place to get to step away and you get to be a kid again and it's so beautiful. But something that has surprised me about the mom walk in general was I guess I didn't expect to make such good friends. It was kind of shocking once I did start for a long time. I was just doing it for everybody else because I could see the friendships and I'm like, okay, this is going to be worth it. Someday I can find a person or I can find people. It's just going to take time. But I was watching people connect in front of me, working for everyone else but myself. But I just kept showing up. So I guess it was surprising when I actually found good, solid people that, because I don't need to be friends with every single person that comes to the walk. I want them to feel seen, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna like bare my soul to them. But I have found those friends that I can be open and honest and real with. It was kind of shocking that it worked. It's working across the board. It's just moms showing up and being vulnerable and caring for each other well. And
And this segues perfectly into this next question because you talked about it for yourself. So, what would you say to a mom who maybe she shows up for one walk or two walks and she's like, oh, I'm still not really connecting with anybody? What would you say to her?
keep showing up because there are moms that come and go. It just like, it's not like everybody's going to have an open schedule to show up to every single walk. There's moms that I don't see for months and then they pop back in just because their kid had a funny hockey schedule and they just couldn't make it or something like that. You just have to keep showing up because somebody else could pop in that's new or somebody that's old that's been around and but you could make the connection anywhere. I've even had a friend that she's not someone to walk up to people in general and just start a conversation. But I've gotten texts from her twice now. I just walked up to this lady at Aldi and I've never done that before, but I invited her to the mom walk because I was smiling at her little girl and she seemed to like me. So I just introduced myself and invited her to the mom walk. So it's word of mouth is spreading the goodness of what we're doing. Your best friend could be there at any moment. But also, you don't have to have a best friend for a community to come behind you and build a village. It's not just one single person, it's everybody. And we try to show up for as many moms that are vulnerable enough to share their struggles. And so it's, you've got a community. We have a whole group chat of almost 70 people, I think now, who send prayer requests or just like, hey, I'm dealing with this thing. Or single moms who are like, hey, what do you do in this situation? And they're popping up on there all these like these other moms who are in the same boat that they otherwise wouldn't have known. But some of these moms haven't even been to a walk or they've been to one, literally not at all, most of them. And but they want to be a part of the community. Their schedule just hasn't lined up. So it's just wild the stories that are coming out of just a silly little group chat of moms from the same area who hope to meet someday. So yeah, just keep showing up because your village is somewhere, your group of friends is somewhere, or your best friend, of course. That's what you're looking for.
And I've said this before, I think moms are some of the best members of your village to have because we get it. We show up for each other.
Hmm.
We make the meals. We show up with coffee on your doorstep because we
That's the
know.
best. Oh, I love
Mhm.
coffee on the doorstep. And I never, you want to know what? I never had that before the mom walk. I always heard of these groups of friends that did that for each other, like on the internet. It's always pictures of cute note on a cup or whatever. Like that's happening now. And it's all because I put myself out there and I was vulnerable just a little bit. And you don't need to spill your soul to find friends. That takes time. But if you're looking for coffee on your doorstep or like a gift card or support is what is just pouring out of these moms. And it's cool to be a part of.
It's cool for me to watch just being in the group chat. And sometimes I respond to things when I have knowledge of a particular situation when someone's asking for it. And sometimes I just sit back and read what the moms are saying to each other. And everyone is so encouraging and so
Hmm.
helpful and just willing to be a sounding board and so non-judgmental because you have moms with all sorts of different parenting styles or some are crunchy, some are not,
Yeah.
some are working moms, some are part-time, some are going to school, some are stay-at-home
Yeah.
moms.
We have a lot of moms going to school, working, raising their babies. It's wild because a lot of moms are like, oh, it's just for stay-at-home moms. This is their social club. I'm like, it is absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
We have such a beautiful group of women that come from every walk, religion, parenting style, but we all just listen and when I say listen and don't judge, I don't mean it as sarcastic. I mean it as literally, like we're literally listening and we're not judging. We're just an ear. And if you're asking for some advice, then people are willing to give it. And even if it's about like today, they were talking about water tables. And we need that advice because you don't want to buy a crappy water table and it fall apart in a year. That is, it's silly little things like that that like make it so sweet.
And I think no matter where you are listening from, I know every mom walk's going to be a little bit different, but I think you're going to find that overall, the leaders of this group, that's what the mission is. And so, therefore, the ambassadors, the people that start the groups, are carrying on
Yeah,
that mission as well.
they are the moms that run it are very passionate about sticking to the guidelines and loving the moms well. They will come and talk to you if there's any issue that someone brings up, or if they get an email from somebody in your city that, oh, this happened. Stuff like that does happen, but they address it in such a beautiful, humble way. And they just handle it really well. And so that they're keeping their mission alive, I think, doing that, because it could be so easy to just make things clicky, and but that's not the point of this.
If someone is listening to this podcast and they're thinking, I am in, I want to join a Mom Walk Collective, how can they find one?
You're going to type in the momwalkcollective.com, and it'll bring you to a screen that it's just some really beautiful photos. And I'm pretty sure they're of Jamie, the founder, and she has put together a website that you can literally like type in your zip code or your city, and it will show you your closest mom walk. When I went to sign up, we had none within 300 miles or something like that. But now there's 6 or 7 in Ohio, and we were the first ones. It's been fun to watch it grow. I could see that they were all around. So you could literally just click and find your closest one. And if you don't see one and you love the thought of running one yourself, there's a become an ambassador button somewhere on the front page, I believe. And you just click that and it'll walk you through the process. There's a video you have to do just talking about your heart for motherhood and why your city would benefit in having a walk. And they just kind of go through them and make sure that you're the right fit for the collective. And then they accept you and you can start onboarding and all the things. It's easy. And you literally just type in your zip code. It's wonderful. It's so easy. I've had people that I know that have become moms that like I knew from high school or something, and they don't live around here. So I type in their new zip code and just be like, hey, you should check this out. It's really cool. It's a great way to find friends now that you're a mom. And people are joining all over. So it's really cool.
I tell moms, my clients about it all the time because it's so easy to find one because they're all over. And the barrier to entry is none. You just show up at a
You
walk.
just show up. Yep.
Yeah.
And we ask that you register, and that's literally just so you sign a waiver and that we know you're coming and we won't leave without you. Because a lot of people see register and they think, oh, this costs money. No, all walks are 100% free. And it sounds kind of wild and people don't believe it, but there's literally no catch. We just show up at the park and hang out, and that's it. You just are building community. Like, we're not asking for anything, we're not selling anything. I mean, our group personally, we do have paid events, but that's basically to pay for food or like a craft that we're doing. But other than that, 100% free.
Oh, amazing. We all love free, right?
We love free.
We love
Yes.
free.
Yes.
Let's wrap it up and let's talk to that mama. I can see her in my mind right now. She's listening in her car driving, or she's scrubbing the dishes. She's feeling lonely. She's unsure of where to start. What encouragement would you give her to end our conversation?
We can so easily get sucked into motherhood and all the things and running here and there. But if you want to show up well for your kids, you need to show up well for yourself. And I think the Mom Walk Collective is a really great option to show up for yourself. It's easy and it's free, and it can change your life for sure. It seems so silly to say that because it's just a walk at a park with strangers. But if we're not going to show up and get support, then what are we teaching our kids, that they have to do it all on their own? And we would hate for that to be their reality when they get older. So, yeah, show up for yourself so you can show up well for your babies. Seems really hard, but it gets easier every time you come to a walk. I actually have some encouragement that the moms shared when we went on a retreat in January. And I don't know quite how to share it because the mom shared encouragement for mom, just like you're asking me. And they basically said, just show up and keep coming and keep going.
Thank you, Macie. I know there's someone listening that needed to hear those words. They needed
I
it.
sure hope so.
And if someone wants to connect with you personally, how can they do that? So they can talk to you more, maybe about becoming an ambassador or learn a little bit more about our local mom walk in Amherst.
You can go to Instagram or Facebook, and it's at themomwalkco.amherst. And a ton of mom walks will pop up because we all kind of have the same handle, but the cities are always at the end. So just make sure you hit Amherst, and then it'll take you to our page, and it'll say the Mama Collective, Amherst, Ohio. And we're there. And there's a little hi, I'm your host thing that I just made. So you can learn more about me there and my heart for the collective because we just celebrated our 2 year anniversary. And it's just been fun to watch us grow in that way. So we'd love to have you join our community, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. We're easy to find.
Thank you so much for your time, Macie, and for the conversation. I appreciate it so much, and I cannot wait for all these moms to find a Mom Walk collective near them.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear stories about people finding it from this. Like, that's so fun and cool.
I loved that conversation with Macie so much. I can't believe how emotional it made me, but community is so important. And if today's episode spoke to you, don't wait. Go find a mom walk near you, get on their website, put in your zip code, or reach out to start one yourself. You are so worthy of friendship and that support to uplift you in this season of early motherhood. And hey, if you show up to a walk feeling nervous, just know every mom there has felt the exact same way at some point. You are not alone. Thanks for hanging out with us today. And if you loved this episode, it would mean the world if you shared it with a friend who might need that little nudge to put herself out there too. Until next time, take care of yourself and know that your people are out there waiting to meet you. Thanks so much for tuning in to the A Bridge to Motherhood podcast. I'm so glad you were here today. If you loved this episode, I'd be so grateful if you could leave a review for the podcast on whatever platform you're listening on. Share it with a friend or snap a screenshot and tag me on social media. If you decide to leave me a review, go to abridgetomotherhood.com/review. That link is also in the show notes so that I can send you a little gift in the mail. Your support helps other moms to find the podcast, and it truly means the world to me. Remember, your motherhood journey deserves your care and attention. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself, mama, and don't worry, I'm here to help every step of the way. See you soon.